I went into work one day, like I normally do, and this was maybe a year and a half ago. And for those who don't know, my first job was working at a nursing home as a dietary aide. So I helped the cook out whenever needed. And my tasks usually included pouring drinks like teas and coffees, filling up the sinks and mop bucket for cleanup later that night, making a ton of grilled cheeses, making various sandwiches, really basic stuff. And one perk about this position was that at the end of the night, we get to eat whatever leftovers there were. And some nights there was chicken parm, there were crab cakes, which were usually my favorite, sweet potato fries, burger, spaghetti, and so on. And there was usually some type of snack or dessert that went along with every meal. It usually consisted of maybe ice cream, maybe cookies, jello, brownie. And one day I went into work and there was something served for dessert that day that I can't remember the last time having. And it was peach raisin bread pudding. And just by looking at it that day, I could tell that it was fresh out of the freezer, properly chilled, and there were two large sheet trays of it ready to be served. And so on this day, I've been working maybe well over 8 months in my position, so I knew how the night would play out, including how many trays were going to be served and approximately how many servings there were going to be left of the dessert. And I thought to myself there was going to be a good 15 spare dessert serving that was going to be left at the end of the night. And I don't know what it was, but I was really feeling this peach raisin bread pudding. I was super excited to have it. So each tray I filled on the cart was 1 minus peach raisin bread pudding serving. And at the end of the night, sure enough, there were around 15 servings left. And so I finished organizing everything that I needed to do for the cleaning portion of the night, and I happily walked over to the tray cart to find the servings. To find the servings gone, at least. I asked my coworker who was in charge of putting the dessert on the trays, and I was like, where did they go? Where they all went? And she said, oh, I threw them out because last time I offered you spare desserts, you said you didn't want any. So I thought you weren't having any today. And she was right. The last time I did decline to offer. I don't know if I just wasn't feeling dessert that day or whatever it was, but I declined it. So she wasn't wrong. But today I was looking forward to it so much that my heart kind of sank when I heard there was no more. And I looked over in the trash can and there they were. And the point of the story was that I built this situation up so much in my head, from the moment I stepped into work, I was really leaning on the fact that I was going to have maybe 2+ servings of this peach raisin bread pudding. And it just came crashing down on me. That's just called disappointment. And disappointment can be a really useful metric when looking at the bigger picture. You see, the only reason we get disappointed is because we have expectations that aren't met. So for example, expecting a high grade on a test and you don't do so well. Expecting this dinner you cooked to be really tasty and it doesn't taste that well. Expecting to hit a certain weight at a certain time and it doesn't happen your way. In all three situations, there was some type of expectation that was built up in the head, and when reality came into picture, it just didn't match, and that's the only reason why we get disappointed. So you take this disappointment and you just change how you're going about it. So for example, great on a test, next time study a little differently. Dinner didn't work out so great, next time try a different quantity of spices or cooking it differently. Didn't hit the weight you were expecting, change out the workout plan. Quantity of reps, quality of reps, and go from there. And so disappointment is just a raw baseline of when reality clashes to what you've built up in your head. A reality check, if you will. So if you ever do encounter disappointment, just know whatever situation you built up in your head and whatever reality isn't matching up. And so go back to your initial thinking, go back to your initial plan, and reroute from there accordingly. I'll see you guys next time.